Hello, my name is Charlene Amador, and this is my interpersonal communications video project for COM 120. Today I will be introducing you to my nephew Jacob Martinez, and we will briefly identify our issues with interpersonal communication. Our first struggle with interpersonal communication is the use of asynchronous communication. This occurs when messages are sent at one time and received at another. Due to our overbearing schedules with his schooling, my schooling, and work, we don't have the same time availability to communicate with one another, and Jacob also lacks cell phone connection, so this is why we struggle there. Our second one is our different types of listening styles. I am more of an analytical listener. An analytical listener prefers to listen to all sides of the issues and listens to the facts before coming to a conclusion. Jacob is a task-oriented listener, which prefers to listen to the overall structure of the message and see what action needs to be taken. This is usually due to our age. I take things more seriously while he's still a teenager and he wants to listen to what you gotta say and get out of there. Our third and final struggle would have to be that we are both conversational, narcissistic individuals. We were raised to be tough and not show our emotion, so we don't really take each other's emotional outpour serious. When he's telling me something about his life and what he's struggling through, like, I don't take into consideration his feelings, and I'll start talking about how I overcame the situation. And so that's one of the biggest things that we need to overcome. So now I'm going to introduce you to Jacob. So this is my nephew Jacob. He's more like a little brother to me, and we're admitting to you that we have interpersonal communication issues. Our first struggle would have to be the use of asynchronous communication, because Jacob has an issue with responding back to my text messages.
Yeah, it's like a problem that I've been having for a long time. Like, if I see a text message, like, I'll just be like, oh, I'll handle it later. Or, like, sometimes I don't want to, like, deal with what people have to say. So, like, I just won't respond. And that's a really big problem, because sometimes there'll be, like, really important questions, or, like, you know, she needs me to do something. And, like, I just won't, like, pay attention, and I'll just ignore it and act like it's no big deal when really it is.
So the solution we came up with this is to identify the severity of each message I'm trying to tell him, and to also create a schedule of availability between the both of us, because we both go to school and I work full-time, 2 jobs. So that would have to be a solution. Don't you agree?
Yeah, like, definitely me, like, answering more and checking my phone, so, like, I know that, you know, like, when someone needs me, and I need to be, like, more open.
Definitely. Our second issue would have to be our different types of listening styles. I'm more of an analytical listener. I think it's due to my age. Over time, I've created, this listening style. I like to listen to everybody's point of view before I make my final conclusion. I used to be like him, a task-oriented listener. He just wants to hear your story and get out of there. Right?
Yeah, like, you know, when I hear people, like, talking about something, they usually lead off. But, like, you know, I need to learn how to, like, deal with it and, like, be more persistent and stuff.
Good job for admitting that. Takes a lot. And our third and final struggle would have to be that we are both conversational, narcissistic individuals. And this is something we were taught. It's something we can't help. We were taught not to show our emotions. So when he tells me something about him, I usually start talking about myself, and vice versa. Like,
yeah.
How would you explain?
Like, definitely growing up around them, like, you know, they never expressed their, you know, like, their problems and stuff, and they never communicated well. So, like, I learned that, like, you know, like, I should handle my problems on my own. And whenever someone, like, vents their problems and stuff, like, I feel like it's unnecessary. And, like, you know, because I've dealt with them on my own, and it's the same for you.
So usually when we talk to each other about our problems. We're like, well, I overcame that issue, so you can too. We start belittling them and talking about our own personal experiences. And we don't mean to, but it's something that we were taught from generation to generation. And little by little, we're overcoming these communication errors that we have. And I just want to say thank you, Jacob, for, admitting with me that we have communication issues.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with them and we're fixing them day by day. So thanks again, Jacob, for being in my video.
Anytime.
In conclusion, I have picked up a few strategies that can help me and Jacob with our issues within our interpersonal communication. 1 would be asynchronous communication. 2 would be our difference in listening styles. Him being a more task-oriented listener and me being more of an analytical listener. And 3, our conversational narcissism. The solutions that we came up with this is to 1, discover a schedule that with our open availabilities when we can be contacted. 2 is to be open-minded of the severity of the conversation. And 3 is to also be open-minded when it comes to each other's feelings, when it comes to conversational narcissism, and to put yourself in each other's shoes. If we apply all these strategies within our communication, it'd be better.